Today, I'm going to be explaining every single monster in Animal Company. This includes where to find them, how they work, and how to stop them. Make sure to stay tuned because this could all be very valuable information for your future runs in Animal Company. So let's just get started with... The turkey is the first monster that we're going to be talking about today. So it can be found in most open spaces in Animal Company, meaning you'll find them in the sewers, the forest, and the dark forest. The only exception to this is Hell, which only has the eyeball swarm monster. When they die, they can either drop a turkey leg or an entire turkey, which both give you health if you've taken damage. To fight off against the turkey, light is your best friend. Shining any type of light, that can be a glow stick, that can be a flashlight, that can be even a big light, into its eyes will cause it to start running around. This is their horrified state. If it's in darkness for around 20 seconds while a player is nearby, the eyes will turn red and they'll begin to start pecking at you. To counter this, you can either attack back with any weapon of your choice, or you can just shine a light into its eyes and cause it to start screaming around. That second option is usually the better option when there is more than one monster around, like the ogre appears in the forest, dark forest, and the foundation maps, probably because he is so big. So you really shouldn't be too scared of this big fella because he's really slow and he only really has two main attacks that are very avoidable. The ogre can attack by either picking up a boulder and throwing it at you or just throwing you instead. Both of these one-shot you, so be careful. To avoid the boulder attack, just move out of the way. The boulder is going to land where you were standing about 1 to 2 seconds before it was thrown. And the pickup attack can be stopped if the ogre is killed before the animation can finish. Ogres can also be stunned by flash grenades, flare guns, anything that has that sort of stun effect. The ogre is very strong. In fact, he has about 500 to 1000 HP, so using a melee weapon against this big boy is something I wouldn't do. Instead, I'd use a revolver, a shotgun, or even an RPG if you really think that's a good idea. Bonus! If you have gone to the planetarium and have eaten 2 of those pink broccolis and headed back home, you will see that you are giant. If you go to the forest area and happen to see the ogre, you'll actually try to avoid you because you're way bigger than him. Just be careful not to run out of the big stuff when he's nearby. The anglerfish is located in the dark forest, the foundation, and the mines, making it a pretty common foe to find in Animal Company. The anglerfish is attracted to light, and it will go out of its way to attack any players in the vicinity with the light on. Don't try to turn off the light if it's attacking you, because once it's found you, it'll keep doing it until you're dead. But if you're lucky enough to not die, the anglerfish will give up eventually and go away. The anglerfish's light will glow a very bright blue when attacking the players, and it does about 45 damage every chomp. It's faster than most players and has a horrifying power to follow you out of whatever map it's in. Yes, that means the main lobby area too. The best way of getting rid of it is either by killing it with a gun or getting to high enough ground where it won't be able to catch you. If you use a big enough light and the anglerfish finds you, it'll become even more aggro. Not changing its appearance or anything, but it'll be incredibly fast. Some cool ways you can counter the anglerfish is by throwing your light away from you. It's attracted to light and not you in specific, so throwing your light can lure it away and get you past an area or have a chance to escape. The best way to get it really far away is by shooting your flashlight with a crossbow. The big chicken, or what I'll be referring it to as, which is the chicken, appears in the secluded area of the forest, resting. When you get close to her, you will find that she's sitting on an egg, and that she's also attacking you. The chicken attacks very similarly to the turkey, by pecking you. She does 10 damage a hit and is very fast, outrunning the average player. The chicken isn't very difficult if you bring a weapon with you, especially a gun. She is very strong though, taking about 12 hits before dying. And she responds quickly too. The egg she's found sitting on can be grabbed and taken back to the incinerator to sell. It goes for about 250 nuts with no upgrades. Keep in mind that if the chicken isn't dead and you have the egg, she will be permanently aggro and chasing you until you sell it or lose it by dying. Have you ever watched Squid Game or played Red Light Green Light? Yeah, this is pretty much that, except deadly. The Watcher is present in a lot of maps, but I've commonly found it in the dark forest and sewers, and the more open spaces too. This, in my opinion, is the deadliest monster in Animal Company, since even the smallest mistake can lead to instant death. It works like red light, green light. Every 5 seconds, the Watcher's light will switch between red and green. Red means stop or else you die, green means go. If you move when it's red, be prepared to watch your life flash before your eyes because you are absolutely cooked. To my knowledge and experience, bullets will not work on this thing. So if you want to kill it, either blow it up or get close. Obviously, this comes with a lot of risk if you use a melee. Just wait to attack when it's green. Hell, even if you know it's one shot, you can attack when it's red. It will respawn very quickly though. About 20 seconds after death, it will appear back where it died. Alongside this, if you're hidden behind cover and the light is red, you can move around, but if you peek up even a little bit, you will die. The Watcher is one of the very few monsters to have a variant, called the Death Watcher. It's just a faster and more difficult version of the regular Watcher. I'd recommend trying to avoid it entirely if you come across it. You'll see it because it has like eyeballs instead of its thing. Yeah. Bombs, or which I like to call the bomb buddies, are kind of like creepers from Minecraft. They usually are found in the sewers in the more tighter areas specifically. Like I said, bomb buddies are like creepers from Minecraft. They notice you, get up close to you, and they explode, killing you both. This is really the only way to kill it. You just have to get away quick enough so that you don't die when it detonates. Now, you may have noticed that I didn't say Bomb Buddy. Well, that's because this monster has two different variants. The blue Bomb Buddy has the same behavior as the other Bomb Buddy, except it works like a flashbang instead of a regular bomb. These guys can be found in the sewers as well as the Haunted Mansion. The big Bomb Buddy is the same as the other two, except its explosion is a little bit bigger and it takes a little bit longer to explode. It's usually found in the sewers, specifically in the more open areas. Banshees or the Ghost Girls are the main enemies in the Haunted Mansion map in Animal Company, but they can also be found in the second parkour course of the sewers as well. The Ghost Girls are the only monsters in the game as of March 2025 that have a jump scare, which is why I think they're the scariest monsters in the game. When they jump scare you, they will kill you instantly, so follow these instructions if you want to live. The Ghost Girls can only attack when in light or looked at for too long, so just keep your light off and look away from them if you happen to have an encounter. Your radar on your wrist is your best friend in the Haunted Mansion map, and in every map actually. I really don't think people use this thing enough. It's really helpful. You'll know that they're there when you hear some ghostly sounds and groans that kind of sound like this. They will not be visible unless you take a picture of them or shine your light, which isn't recommended because, like I mentioned before, you might die. She's completely immortal, so don't try to shoot her or hit her with your melee. You'll only be killing yourself in the process. Laura is the only monster who cannot damage the player, and instead works more as an inconvenience. She can only spawn in the Haunted Mansion map and will turn off your flashlight while crying. She can only be killed with explosives or by taking a picture of her. The cyst is a fleshy ball with tendrils connecting it to nearby walls. They're usually found in the sewers of the Foundation or even the Haunted Mansion, though I have yet to find it in the Haunted Mansion. The cyst is completely docile and won't attack you unless you touch one of its tendrils. When anchored, the middle part will become an eye and will shoot out a long spike, instantly killing the player. If you're quick enough, you can hide behind a wall or corner and block the cyst attack. Keep in mind that the eyeball in the middle is safe to touch. The cyst can be killed via a shotgun or a crossbow, but I do not recommend it since it spawns in the same spot very quickly. Melee weapons do damage, but it will kill you before you kill it. I hope you don't have arachnophobia because this guy will be your worst fear. The giant spider is a large spider that looks to be mechanical in some areas. This monster is exclusive and is the main enemy of the mines. Plenty of games have a monster like this one. A few examples being the figure from Roblox Doors, the warden from Minecraft, and the monsters from the movie A Quiet Place. If you haven't gotten it yet, the spider is blind and reacts to sounds. This includes talking in voice chat, talking on the watch, interactions with items like the flashlight and backpack, and the boombox. Pretty much everything that makes a sound in this game alerts the spider. Getting caught in the webs will instantly alert the spider to your location, so be careful. The spider will kill the player in 4 hits and runs extremely fast when alerted. She takes quite a few hits to kill too, but is one hit when shot with a gun or blown up. Fun fact, if you throw the football hard enough and it happens to land in the mouth of the spider, it will kill it instantly. The spider has 200 health in total. Now on to the next monster. Mr. Armstrong, or what me and my friends like to call the Boulder Bros, are a pretty common enemy in the mines. They can also appear in the sewers, and they used to have their own cave, but that was removed, leaving them homeless. Boulder Bros can be seen walking around using their massive arms, probably because their legs are so tiny. They attack by running up to you and punching you, dealing about 40 to 60 damage per hit, meaning that they'll kill you in about 2 or 3 hits. Interestingly, they will pause when they punch. This is because they have a 3-second cooldown. I use this as the perfect opportunity to kill them or escape the area. Boulder Bros have 300 health in total, so they take a little bit to kill with a melee, but are 2 hit with a gun. They also have a red variant called the Fleshy Armstrong, which I just call Red Bro. Red Bros are the same as Boulder Bros but weaker. They kill you in 5 hits instead of 3. Mimics are a player-like entity meant to deceive the player. They are usually found in the mines, the sewers, and the mimic sewers. Mimics are identical to the player and are meant to trick them into getting close. They are usually green, but can be found in a few other colors. When aggro, the face will become distorted, and their eyes will get big and they'll bear sharp teeth. They do about 5 to 8 damage when attacking, but don't be fooled, they are fast and will drain that health bar quick. Mimics can be killed the same way a player can, with any weapon. They have 105 health, and the easiest way to kill them is with a gun or a melee weapon. The Hell Swarm, or what I like to call the Laser Boy, is the main enemy, in fact the only enemy present in the Hell area in Animal Company. It is usually these rock thingies, but when you're found, this big eye opens up and aims at you. Laser Boy's main attack is the rocks that swarm around him. It won't be instant though. He gives you some time to get behind cover before attacking. The way you'll know if you're a target or not is by this big red indicator that looks like a target. This means you're in the line of fire and should be getting behind cover quick. This is also why I call him Laser Boy, because it kind of looks like a laser coming out of him. If you don't get behind cover fast enough, he will start to shoot the rocks at you, but don't worry, his aim is terrible, but he does hit hard. The only counters to Laser Boy I've been able to discover is either hiding behind cover or just not getting near him, or waiting for him to attack, since with every attack, less rocks show up around him. He cannot be killed, believe me, I've tried. So I'd say the best way to deal with him is to just try and get to the core and back home. Finally, we're at the new monsters from the Office update. The Segway, or Jane, or iPad Lady, or whatever you want to call her, is the first monster most players encounter in the Office map. And as of now, this is her only location. You'll note if she's nearby by the sound of her wheel and a bright light illuminating her. So you know the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who, or SCP-173, maybe even these new Minecraft mobs. I forgot their name. Well, she works a lot like them. But if you have no clue what I'm talking about still, pretty much, if you look at her, she stays still, but if you look away, she gets closer. It's a bit more complicated than that though. First of all, she can move all she wants. This little game only happens if you're in her line of sight, indicated by this red light and an alarm sound. She also appears to lock on to different players, and I've noticed that she gets aggro sometimes even if another person is looking at her. But I think this might just be a bug, and it may be patched by the time this video comes out. If you look away from her, she'll go into her hostile state, which looks like this. She is really fast and will kill the player in 2 hits. Keep in mind that if you look at her before she catches you, she will stop attacking. This might be the best opportunity to attack her by the wheels. She can also be countered by being looked at or killed. Everything works, guns, melee, explosives, but the best way I've seen is by using a hook shot on the roof and attacking the iPad with a melee. Shooting her wheels takes about 3 shots, so maybe bring some extra ammo with you. Lastly, the main star of the game right now, the Employee, or as Orange likes to call him, Weedman. This is the main villain you're going to encounter in the Office, and as of now, this is the only spot that he appears in. He is what is called a Nextbot, a term coined by the Source Engine games like Garry's Mod and Half-Life 2. I'm not going to get into the entire history of Nextbots, but pretty much they were an advanced AI that didn't need something called nodes to walk around a map, instead being able to move freely. The modern Nextbot is what the Employee appears to be, popularized by Garry's Mod specifically. A Nextbot is mostly known as a 2D image that chases the player, always knowing where they are. This video by Richter Overtime has a great explanation if you're curious about how Nextbots work. Back to Weedman though. This guy is the creature everybody's been talking about because he's just so different from every other monster in the game. First of all, this guy is just creepy. I mean, look at him. Who am I kidding? He's beautiful. I could go on all day about this guy's appearance alone, but we gotta talk about the way he works and how to stop him. He's pretty simple actually, so let's begin. The Employee will ominously roam the second and final floors of the Office, never in the lobby. He's pretty slow when in a docile state and usually gets stuck on things like doorways and pillars. When he spots a player or is attacked, he will let out a near deafening laugh, so loud that it had to be turned down in later updates. He will gain some speed and start to chase the player, but not forever. If you do get far enough away, he will give up. If you are caught, you will be insta-killed in classic Nextbot fashion. The Employee can be killed by standard weapons like melee, guns, and explosives. Interestingly, I have noticed that he has a very realistic hitbox, where he may not die as quickly if you shoot him in certain places. For example, if you shoot his shoulders, he can take up to 3 shots to kill with the revolver, but if you shoot him in the face, he is killed in 1 hit. From my experience, he respawns after a minute or 2, but it takes a while to get back to you, so feel free to get those ducks in the more dangerous areas after you kill him. Hey, you made it to the end of the video, which probably means that you enjoyed it, so do me a favor and drop a like, maybe even subscribe. This is a brand new channel and I'd really appreciate the support to keep going and making videos just like this one. Hey, Maybe you can even claim your OG ticket while you're at it. Anyways, bye bye.